Hello everyone, today I want to talk about Foundation Festival. It's still going on and CRT gave us some guides, some very interesting guides. For example, vehicle combat, get ready to rumble. And here we have the guide and there's a lot of wrong with this. I thought about making a video and then I saw a very nice Spectrum thread, so I can just read this. 2 days ago, Durgan started this thread on Spectrum. The Foundation Festival Vehicle Weapons Guide is almost entirely misinformation. Here are some corrections. Resolved. Update. Nico CIG confirmed below that this has been addressed and Vehicle Weapons Guide has been updated with correct information. Thank you to everyone who upvoted and brought attention to this. Link to this is in my first pinned comment below. Durgan listed the errors and CRT reacted, but why just react? Why not write a guide that is mostly correct from the start? Ballistic. They are not generally slower than energy weapons. Projectile speed are spread broadly across all weapon types right now. They do not reach farther targets and no other weapons currently have reduced damage over range. Energy, power plants and coolers have no bearing whatsoever on an energy weapon's ammo pool. This is dictated by the ship's capacitor. Energy weapons also do not overheat at any significant rate. Distortion. Distortion weapons are not highly specialized in breaking vehicles' shields. Completely the opposite, shields heavily resist distortion damage. Distortion weapons were very effective against shields, but CIG changed this, I think in 3.22. Nowadays distortion weapons are doing very low damage to shields, because shields have a very high resistance to distortion damage. Missiles. There are no specialized payload types, everything is explosive. There's one missile with smaller sub-ammunition, which are also explosives. Yeah, Rattler. There are no EMP warheads specialized in damaging shields. To me this looks like Foundation Guide was written a long time ago, many years ago, because some things were actually different and CIG always wanted to have an EMP missile. Torpedoes. There is no such thing as a point defense system. Your flight path has nothing to do with anything once you've launched the torpedo. Again, this looks very strange. Yes, some ships actually have a point defense system, but it's not in the game yet and don't expect it anytime soon. Yeah, this seems like whoever wrote this guide has no idea how the game works and he has no idea about the current state of Star Citizen. EMP devices, as with distortion, EMP devices do not cause significant damage to shields. Yeah, all shields have now 75% resistance to distortion EMP damage with power triangle in neutral and 95% resistance to EMP distortion damage with full power to shields. Weapon types, other than Tachyon, Mass Driver, Scatters, none of these weapons have any range difference from each other within each size class. Yeah, in 3.14 CRT normalized most weapon and component stats to give us better stats. 3 years later, still nothing materialized. Tachyons and mass drivers are not excellent for long-range engagements, they have the shortest range of everything. Again, who wrote this? Some weapons actually had a very long range, for example being a defender Tachyon cannons, but CRT never got them to work and this is off the table for at least 4 years by now. Neutrons do not have a slower projectile speed compared to other weapons, they are just shy of the fastest. And we have more combat tips from CRT. No one in their right mind uses staggered mode for cannons. Cannons shine on single accurate snapshot for burst damage. Power plant upgrades have no bearing whatsoever on your energy weapon ammo count. Shield generator upgrades have no bearing whatsoever on your total shield hit points or recharge rate at the present. Here we have size 1 shields in 3.13 and in 3.14. Yeah, in 3.14 CRT made almost everything identical. Before 3.14 you could for example use a shield like Mirage that is very stealthy but doesn't give you a lot of shield HPs, or you could use a shield like for example Palisade which gave you tons of shield HPs but had a low regen rate and a very high signature, or you could use a shield like for example All Stops with shield HPs between Mirage and Palisade with decent regen rate and with not too high signature, but of course way worse than a Mirage stealth shield. And of course we had those differences not just for shields, also for coolers and power plants, like for example a power plant that gave you a lot of power but had a loud signature. It was a lot of fun to configure your chip to your liking. All this is gone since 3.14, 3 years ago. EMP bursts do not cause missiles to lose tracking. There is no such thing as an electromagnetic missile that disables vehicles. I skip a lot of points, I only talk about things I find very important. There are no efficient components at present that make a difference in your EM signature other than powering them off or not including them at all. Did someone write this who was working on Star Citizen like 4 or 5 years ago? This is all so strange. I have no explanation. How can someone not understand his own game that much? If you ever wondered why we have so many changes in Star Citizen that make no sense, that make the game worse, that are just not good balancing, now you have your explanation. CIGs themselves don't understand their own game. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Bye. Auf Wiedersehen.
We are now in the Pyro system, and we streamed out Stanton as we were traveling and streamed in Pyro. We are going to have the Pyro system next year. Obviously, that brings in jump points. We're going to have dynamic weather.
Hey, you're still here. You might want to join me on Twitter. My Twitter account is Camural_SC.